The number of project management tools on the market is crazy, and every single one of them is promising to be a silver bullet that fixes all of your problems and makes your team super organized. And when I'm evaluating these tools, I'm not necessarily looking at how great is their marketing or how cool is their website. I'm really looking at when you have the chaos of all of the projects that you have to work on at once across multiple time zones and multiple people, which of those project management tools is going to make you feel the calmest and the most in control. So we're going to do it in a tiered system. We're going to start with S, which is the best, and then it'll be A, B, C, and let's get into it. First, I want to start with Motion. Now, Motion holds a special place in my heart, mostly because it doesn't just manage projects, it manages your time. So it looks at your chaos and the different things that you have going on, and it focuses on how can I give you more time back, which I think is a really, really great approach to project management. So once you enter your projects into Motion, it literally builds your entire schedule for you. It uses AI to slot in tasks around your meetings, your priorities, and your deadlines, and it keeps them adjusted throughout the day while things change. What I will say is Motion at the beginning kind of feels a little bit eerie because there's just so much going on in the tool. But once you get it set up, by the end of the day, you feel really in control of your workflow and almost like you have a personal assistant. The biggest downfall for me, and I think a lot of people will agree if they look at Motion, is the pricing, because Motion is expensive. From an individual standpoint, I think Motion would be a really good tool for most people. It would be, assuming that you want to pay that amount, but it is a little bit harder of an upsell when it comes to big enterprise teams where you're looking at a big chunk of money coming out of your pocket each month. So the tier rating that I'm giving Motion, because it is really smart, but it is really expensive, I'm going to give it an A tier rating. The next tool is Trello. Trello has been around forever, and there's a reason it's still around. It's because it's super simple. Everyone knows how to use it. You jump on and you're immediately able to start creating projects, creating boards, and it's just really intuitive to use because the fundamental core of Trello is simplicity. But that simplicity cuts both ways. Once your project gets more complex or there's dependencies and cross-team communications or automation, Trello starts to show its limits. At its best, it's a super lightweight system for small teams managing quick projects. At the worst, it's basically just sticky notes on a digital interface. But still, there is something refreshing about how simple it is, and the pricing is really reasonable. So because Trello is dependable and timeless, but it lacks a lot of sophistication, I'm going to rank it a tier B. And by the way, I will link to all of these below. Some of them I do have affiliates with, but the ones that I'm affiliated with, specifically ClickUp, Motion, and Monday, are tools that I really, really genuinely believe in, and I think they add a lot of value. So I will link to those below if I hadn't mentioned that already. Speaking of ClickUp, the next one on the list. So ClickUp used to be, and I think a lot of this is because of their advertisement, they have really good ads. ClickUp used to be the tool that everyone wanted, but then once they got it, they weren't really sure what to be doing with it because it is really powerful and it's really complicated at the beginning. But now it's genuinely a world-class project management tool. Since adding AI and automations, ClickUp's AI finally feels useful, and it can create automations in natural language or summarize updates and even turn meeting notes into action plans automatically. And once you learn the system, you're in complete control. So for teams that want to have everything in one place, tasks, docs, goals, dashboards, all of this stuff in this powerhouse tool, you now have that ability. The learning curve is real, but the payoff is huge, and the pricing is pretty reasonable. And to me, ClickUp is one of the most all-in-one compatible tools for any size team. And for that reason, I'm giving it an S tier. Next, let's talk Smartsheet. So Smartsheet is funny to me because I would kind of feel like it is if Excel went to business school. Like, it feels like Excel. It feels very familiar. It feels like something that you can get started with very quickly. Now, Smartsheet is built to be essentially an Excel sheet, but it does have a lot of project management components that make it really valuable for a lot of teams. It's fantastic for operation-heavy teams. So if you think things like logistics or finance or construction who want structure without jumping into something new. But it's not the most creative or inspiring tool on the list. It's really just a very functional piece of tech. And it's reliable, it's data-driven, but it's not really life-changing. And so for that reason, I'm giving it a B tier. Next up is Notion. Notion is one of the only tools on this list that's actually the most functional that I've seen. You can really do whatever you want with it. You can use it as a calendar app. You can use it as an AI note taker. You can use it really for project management. You can really use it however you want. But that strength of the tool is also a weakness when it comes to project management because there's a lot of setup and a lot of nuance that goes into Notion. You can build your own project management system. You can connect documents, automate workflows, and even use Notion AI to generate text and next steps or meeting summaries. It's part tool, part sandbox if you are the type of person that likes to kind of get in there and create your own system. The beauty of Notion is in the control. It molds around your brain instead of forcing you into a structure. But that flexibility takes time to set up and it takes resources from you. So because it is easily the most customizable tool, but it requires a lot of discipline, Notion gets an A tier rating from me. Let's talk about a tool that almost everyone has access to, Microsoft Project. So Microsoft Project is kind of like the grandparent of the list. It's been around more than a lot of these tools have even existed, and it's seen a lot of iterations since its inception. And it dominates in really traditional organizations. If you're managing, let's say, hundreds of dependencies, schedules, and budgets, it's an incredibly powerful tool. It's complex, it's dated, and not super helpful for new users. So because it's powerful for those large traditional institutions, but not really good for helping you control or project manage, it's going to get a C rating from me on the tier list. Next, let's talk Asana. Asana is actually one of the first project management tools that I ever used when I was out of college. When I started actually working in the professional world, Asana was one of the first tools that I ever used. It's really polished. It's really solid tool. It feels clean, it feels stable, and it feels dependable. And they've just added a new AI teammates feature that adds real value and automatically summarizing updates and helping you stay aligned with your goals. Now, Asana shines in organizations that live and breathe process. It's very, very good for operations, very good for logistics. Everyone knows their tasks, everyone knows their deadlines, and accountability is baked in. They have a really good dashboard reporting system that shows all the analytics of what the projects have been done and who's done them and what's still open. But that same structure that helps operational and logistics teams is also a counterbalance for, it's very rigid and very tough for creative teams or fluid teams. But if you want order and reliability, Asana is your go-to. So because Asana is elegant and professional, but maybe not as flexible as some of the other tools, I'm going to give it an A tier rating. Next up, let's talk Miro. Now, Miro isn't technically a project management tool, but a lot of projects do start on Miro. And so I feel like a lot of people have used Miro for project management in the past, so I wanted to add it onto this list. So Miro is a place where brainstorming, mapping, and planning come together. If you've ever tried using a whiteboard for a strategy over Zoom, Miro fixes that problem beautifully. Its AI can summarize ideas, group stickies by themes, and even turn messy boards into clear visual roadmaps. The only issue is, once you're done planning, you don't have anywhere for that information to actually go to become actually managed as part of a project. So because Miro is great with the upfront part of helping out with creativity, but lacks on the execution side, I'm going to give it a C tier rating. Next, let's talk Monday.com. Monday has in the last 5 years really stepped up and kind of differentiated itself on a marketing standpoint, and it's become viewed as an all-around tool for a lot of modern teams. It's visual, simple, and powerful enough for complex projects without you having to feel overwhelmed. And what sets Monday apart is how easy it is to bring clarity into chaos. The new AI features help summarize project updates and predict delays, but even without the AI-specific tools, the automations and dashboards make leadership feel effortless. In my opinion, Monday is one of those rare tools where you start it as a small team and it can scale to a 100-person company without any issues. So because Monday is this powerful balance of power and peace of mind, it's going to get an S tier rating. Next, let's talk Jira. If you are somebody who is a developer specifically, Jira is the tool that you will probably gravitate to the most. It's built around agile sprint cycles and is detailed in issue tracking. So for engineering teams, it's irreplaceable. For everyone else, it's actually kind of a nightmare. Jira demands process discipline, and if your team doesn't have it, the tool will feel like a punishment. But because it's too specialized for general use and it's really only for developers, I'm going to give this a C tier. Although if you are on a development team, obviously the ranking would be a lot higher. Next, let's talk Wrike. Wrike is actually a cool tool because it focuses on the enterprise customer, but it also adds in a layer of usability for the enterprise customer, unlike Microsoft Project. It's great for teams managing a lot of moving parts, let's say marketing campaigns, product launches, or multi-departmental projects. You get excellent dashboards, real-time analytics, and now you even have smart AI insights. The downside is that Wrike can actually feel really heavy when you're using it. There's a lot to learn and a lot to maintain as you go. If you need a lot of structure, Wrike is great. But if you are really wanting something a little bit more lightweight like Trello, Wrike is not going to be a good fit for you. Because Wrike is powerful, but it's mostly geared toward large enterprises, I'm going to give it a B tier rating. Now, you might be looking at this tier list thinking, wow, there's not any D's, E's, or F's. And that is because there are so many project management tools on the market that if I were to go through and actually do every single one of them, we would have a lot of D's and a lot of F's, but it would not be valuable for you to sit and watch a 45-minute video on all of the project management tools that aren't good. These ones are the most popular ones. These are the ones that people really gravitate toward or look for more information on. So yeah, here's my final list. Here's my final tier listing. If you have any project management tools that you want me to evaluate or other ones that you have on your mind, let me know in the comments below. And if this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see me compare 3 of the best project management tools, check out this video I made about a few other project management tools you might be researching. And with that, I will see you on the next one.